for greeting each other with Hare Krishna. So let's start with today's session. As already said, in the last session we have built a very nice background. Now we'll try to build on that about the various aspects of karma, the various aspects of thank you very much for the various aspects of karma, and also we'll be answering various questions. I'm sure this question is going to be okay. Someone is saying the voice is low. Is it same for everyone? Is my voice okay? The volume? Is the volume okay? Okay, volume is okay. Volume is okay. Just a minute, let me check. Okay, now is it okay, everyone? How about now? Is it okay now? Okay, okay. So this was taking the webcam mic. Okay, okay. So let's start. So let's offer prayers and start with today's session. So the prayers I'm displaying here on the screen. Please repeat after me. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate giriyat kripatam mande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Ishwaram. Okay, so let's start with the most interesting topic. And this is titled as The Art of Work, and this is from Bhagavad Gita. We dedicate this presentation to Srila Prabhupada, who has taught us what sort of karma to be done. And today's topic is this: the art of work. Can my work make me happy? And in the last session, we have seen what is better, the work or renunciation. And we saw Arjuna state. He was very confused on the battlefield, and he was saying that I'll go to forest, I'll become a renunciant. But then we also saw that renunciation due to problems is not a correct thing. So that will create a lot of problems. There will be lethargy, there will be bodily problems, and people might not respect. And obviously, it's not eating halwa to become a sannyasi. it really needs a lots and lots of endeavor. And then we also saw that in these cases which I displayed, so not every time, just by seeing the activity, we can judge what is good and what is bad. So various things will matter. One is intention. Then second is the situation and circumstance. So these two are very, very important. And based on that only, after considering all this in the background only, we'll be able to accept or be able to understand, is the work good or bad? And we saw this particular thing, that is the basic tenets of karma. So basically, we saw that karma basically means equal and opposite reaction. To every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And we also had an elaborated discussion on who gets that karmic reactions. And we said animals don't. And the reason that we gave was animals' intelligence is not developed. Animals are programmed to do only 4 activities: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. They don't have higher intelligence to inquire for higher things. So we are very clear on this. And we said that it's only human form where we can decide where we want to go. Do we want to go higher or do we want to go lower? Lower species of life. So where do we want to go? Or are we interested to break the cycle of birth and death? And we said that there are 84 lakh species. I mean, 84 lakh different varieties of dresses that we can wear. So basically, I'm talking about this body. No, it acts like a cloth. It acts like a cloth. And when this cloth gets worn out, when this cloth is invalid, the soul switches on to another cloth. And how do we get that cloth? How do we get that next body? We get it only based on the karma credits that we all have. Based on that. So from here, now we'll continue. So one thing I said that karma decides what is the next body that we're going to get. But then there is one more statement in Bhagavad Gita. So please chant after me. A very important shloka, which is a takeaway. In fact, I would say is a very important takeaway for today. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajyate ante kalevaram tam tam ivaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitah. See, this is a very important shloka. All of us have to meditate on this because uh, this will actually decide our next birth. Hmm? This shloka will actually decide what is our next destination. So it says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajyate ante kalevaram tam tam ivaiti kauntaya sadat bhava bhavitah. Whatever we remember at the time of death, we become that in the next life. Very simple to understand. Whatever activities we do the entire day, that's what comes in the dream. Similarly, whatever activities we do throughout our life, that's what will come at the end of our life. And scientifically also it is proved that when the person is leaving the body, there's a slideshow that goes in front of him. Very fast slides, very fast slides. And on one slide, the person will give up his body. Now, if I ask you a question, can you tell me something about your childhood? So, what all things you'll remember? Now, maybe the best teacher you had, or maybe the worst of the worst teacher you had who bet you very badly in front of everyone, or the fight that you had with your friends, or the place which your parents took you, for an outing, for a picnic, for a camp, or whatever. So there are some instances which we will remember, not everything. We cannot tell right from day one of our childhood what we were doing and so on and so forth. So the point that I'm trying to make is that there are some activities which creates strong impression, very strong impression on our mind, and that is called as, in technical terms in Sanskrit, that is called as skara. So that is called as samskara. So samskara is the impression that is formed in the mind. It's like there's a wet cement and then you start running on it, so you make some impressions on it. So that impression I'm talking about. And these impressions, when they are very strong impressions, they are actually seen in those slides at the time of death. And at the time of death, whatever we see, the last slide that we're going to see, that will actually decide what is our next destination. Hope this is very clear. Says this in Bhagavad Gita 8.6. Whatever we remember at the time of death, 8.5 I guess, whatever we remember at the time of death, that's what will become in the next life. So suppose I'm very much attached to my dog, and then at the time of death, I remember a dog, my own pet dog. If I remember, I'll become a dog in next life. And all the youth who are listening to me, if you're attached to some girl and you remember a girl in the last stage of your life, you're giving the last breath, giving up your last breath, and you're remembering some girl, done, you become a girl in next life. Simple. There's no question about that. But now I have a question. Before this concept, I told that karma decides the next destination. Now I'm saying that whatever we remember at the time of death decides the destination. So isn't that contradictory? Many times people say this, these all Vedic scriptures are contradictory. एक जगह पे कुछ दिया है तो दूसरे जगह पे कुछ और दिया है. Some place something else is said, and other place exactly contradiction is mentioned. So, don't you think it's contradiction? I said karma decides your next body. Now I'm saying that yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. That is, whatever remember at the time of death, that will decide the next body. Let me give you a simple example to understand this. Now, a person um, has got a desire that I want to live in a palatial house. Very very intense desire he has. Whenever he sees any palatial house, any palace, any villa, he feels like, oh, I should live actually in such a house. This is a desire of the person. Again and again he's seeing, and the impressions are there in his mind. But then his karma says that the next body that he's supposed to get should be of a cockroach. That sort of karma he has done. Now, in the chat box, I want your answer. What will be the destination of the person? I gave the answers of both. So now you tell me, combine two and tell me what will be the destination of that particular person. Karma says that he has to become a cockroach, but the last impression says that want to live in a palatial house. Can we have some answers, please? Yes, Surujan is right. Cockroach in that particular palace. Yeah, absolutely. Cockroach in that particular palace. So this is what is no. See, there is nothing contradiction. No contradiction in our Shastra. Its only thing is you have to understand and synthesize properly and put the two things together, fit it together, and then you'll be able to understand what it is. So here we very clearly understand that our karma decides our next body, and also the situations are decided by what we are thinking at the time of death. So our destination is decided by both our karma and whatever we think at the time of death. And yes, as most of you all are saying, so our activities, those are there, the karmic activity, the karma that we are doing, the activities that we're doing, that will have strong impressions. And suppose if I'm doing nonsensical activities throughout my life, that's what will come at the time of death. That slide will be displayed, and then I have to leave my body. So in this way, we understand that this karma is a very, very intricate topic, very intricate topic. And now, as I already said, human life is a junction. I cannot just hang around saying, okay, I'll do whatever I want. Nowadays, people have this, right? People have this slogan, eat, drink, marry without marry. What is the problem? Nowadays, we have live-in relationships and we have so many other nonsensical things going on. We are busy copying the Western culture. Okay, so people say that, okay, anyways, life over, everything over, arre, maja karo. Why really worry? This is what people talk about. But then, human life junction, as I already said, we have to understand what activities to do and what activities to avoid. Do's and don'ts we have to do. Like in a manual, do's and don'ts are given to run a proper machine. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita is a manual which gives us do's and don'ts to run this machine. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 18 chapter 61 shloka, he says, Ishvara sarva bhutanam riddheshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rodhani mayaya. So Krishna is saying that this body is like yantra, this body is like machine, and this machine needs a manual, and Bhagavad Gita is that manual. And that's what the discussion that we're entering. What sort of activities we should do, and what is the categorization of different activities. So this is what is the discussion we are entering into, a very, very important discussion which will actually help us to live a very holistic life. So let's start. Let's start this very, very important thing. Before I enter this topic, let me tell you something. See, when it comes to karma, when it comes to various things, many times people ask this question. So everything is fixed in our life? Many people ask this. This is a FAQ, frequently asked question. Everything is fixed in our life? Not everything is fixed in our life. There are various juncture in our life, those are fixed. Like for example, Our the date is fixed. Based on that, we take birth. Which family we have to take birth, that is fixed. That's how we have taken birth. Now, suppose we would have given, if we would have been got some options, we would have chosen, some Ambani's house or Birla's house. No tension in life. But then we were just pushed in some way in this material world. So that is decided. The number of breath that a person takes, that is decided by karma. Number of grains the person eats, that is decided by karma. The amount that a person will earn, that is decided by karma. Life partner, decided by karma. Kids, decided by karma. So the point that I'm trying to make is that karma pre-decides, various things. Depending on past karma, we have got various situations in this life. And now how we react in that situation is up to us. Like, for example, many youth, unmarried youth, they always have this question. Oh, now what should I focus on? Should I focus on career or should I focus on bhakti? This is prime time of my life. Now I have to grow. I have to climb the corporate ladder. Abhi nahi to kabhi nahi. These are the different questions that people ask, and they're always puzzled and ambiguous about this, perplexed about this. So the answer is very clear. Both have to be done. There's no question of choosing one. Career kare ki bhakti kare. Career to kabhi khatam nahi hoga. Do you think in any time the career will end? Every time, there'll be higher and higher things, that to achieve in corporate. Now, one ladder over, you look at the next. Oh, I need promotion, I need hike. Oh, okay, then next. And most of you are unmarried now. Once you get married, so much of responsibilities will come up. So one of the important point is now itself in this youth, in this unmarried state, we have to get fixed up in bhakti, giving bhakti the first priority. And obviously career has to be taken care side by side. But bhakti should be given importance in our life, great importance. Right? Now, I don't know how many of you have started chanting. So everyone, all of you should keep chanting every single day, at least 108 times. 108 times the Hare Krishna Mahamantra should be chanted. Bhagavad Gita reading should happen. Few pages of reading should happen. Out of 24 hours, can't we give half an hour to this? Not even half an hour, 15 minutes max. Yes, 15 minutes max. This is going to decide our future. This is going to decide what's going to happen next. Our past has already decided various juncture in our life. Now, in this situation, what call are we taking is very, very important. See, now some 43 people are present in today's session. We started the session. In the first session, there were 240 plus people. Out of finally, some 43 are remaining. Isse bhi kam hoga. People will, not come after some time, and the count might reduce. Why? Why do people stop coming to the sessions? Because they feel, theek hai, bhakti baad mein bhi kar sakte. What is the problem? Retirement mein karenge. It's a retirement program. Why should I do it now? It's very clear. Just now we discussed. Whatever we do in our entire life, that's what is going to manifest in the last slide. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. Ya prayati samadbhavam yati nasti atra samshaya. Krishna is telling Arjuna, don't keep any samshaya, don't keep any doubt. Anyone who sees me at the time of death, anyone who remembers me at the time of death, breaks the cycle of birth and death and comes back to me, oh Arjuna. Now, be free from any doubt about this. Very clear. Krishna is extremely clear about this particular point. Now, entire life, many people say, अरे पूरी लाइफ मजा करेंगे, एंड में थोड़ा भक्ति करते हैं. अरे एंड कभी होगा? Who knows when is the end? Who knows? Can someone tell me is the end? Can someone tell, okay, I'm going to live for another 50 years? Another 5 minutes or 5 seconds, what is going to happen? We don't know. None of us know that. Then how can we guarantee about the old age? So it is foolish to say that bhakti is meant for old age. Bhakti is meant for now, for the youth. In fact, great personality Prahlad. If you have heard about Narsimhadev, so his devotee Prahlad, he says, Kaumaram macharet pragyaho. Bhakti should be done right from the age of 5, he says. Are baapre. Abhi we are 25 and plus. So we have already, lost 20 plus years in our life. Now it's the time to become serious in bhakti. Now it's the time to, become serious in spirituality. Yes. We have to become serious in this and carry out our daily duties. Those are there, office and taking care of family, whatever. But then bhakti should be given first priority. That is very important. Or else we have to be ready to go to the lower species of life, back again to the cycle of birth and death, birth and death, birth and death, unending cycle of birth and death. Now it's the time, because we have got the opportunity to understand this philosophy of karma. And what is this philosophy of karma? How many types of karma are there? Because we said that when we do bad karma, no, we get papa. When we do good karma, we get punya. But for salvation, take the cycle of birth and death, we need zero karma. Na punya, na papa. But what does that mean? That is the discussion now all of us are entering into. Be very, very attentive. Next 1 hour that we're going to discuss will change your life. Online classes mean no distraction. One side WhatsApp, one side Facebook, and one side Zoom. No. Be focused on the slides that I'm displaying now, and be focused on the talk that we're going to have now. Very, very important. Next 1 hour, now we're going to discuss the most important aspects of Gita course. Let's first discuss what is papa karma or bad karma. So how do we understand, what is good, what is bad? Like for example, something good for me, might be bad for you, and something bad, good for you might be bad for me. So I will say that according to my opinion, this is bad. According to me, this is good. But who cares for your opinion? Correct, no? So there should be some threshold to decide what is good, what is bad. What is that threshold? Where is it given? It's given in Shastra. It's given in scriptures, Bhagavad Gita. That is called as manual. That is called as manual. So very clearly from the manual, we understand what is good and what is bad. And Shastras very clearly gave 4 pillars of sin. These are the 4 sinful activities very clearly mentioned in Shastra throughout different scriptures, including Bhagavad Gita. These are the ones: intoxication, meat eating, illicit sex, gambling. These are the sinful pillars of life, and we have to suffer. We have to suffer for these. Karmic reactions will come. भले कितना भी डिबेट करें हम, no intoxication से क्या problem है? One person was talking to me. What is the problem with illicit sex? She has no problem. I have no problem. What is your problem? I said, I have no problem. Shastra is saying this, and you have to suffer for that. Gambling, mere paise, what is the problem? Meat eating, no, I'm getting the meat I'm eating. What is the problem? Yes, it is a problem. This body that we have, it doesn't belong to us. It belongs to Krishna. Bhade pe liya hum log ne. This is on rent we are staying in this body. And this body is a gift of Krishna, and we have to take care of this body according to what he desires. So when it is given that these 4 will harm the body, these 4 will affect the body, this 4 will affect our consciousness, yes, that will create bad karma. That will create papa. This first aspect. Now the next thing is, what is punya? Punya, now you might say that giving charity and then feeding poor people and then helping people and etc., etc., etc. Yes, that is punya. So many people are doing various philanthropic work, and they are surely getting punya. But then I make a statement now, a very important statement. I say that both papa and punya are bad. Again, I repeat, both papa and punya are bad. I give you an example and tell me, at the end I'll ask you a question. So tell me, which one is good and which one is bad. So two thieves, they decide to rob a bank. And both of them decide that after robbing the bank, we'll divide it into equal halves. 50 tera, 50 mera, 50-50. And then both of them, they go to the bank at night and they rob the bank with a lot of intelligence. And then one of the thief, he takes all the money and runs away. Now, what is papa and what is punya? Let me tell you. Papa means one person running away with the entire money. And punya is dividing the money and sharing. So tell me which is good. Taking all the money and running away, or dividing into half and both of them having half of. Which one is good? Case 1 or case 2? Can we have in the chat box, please? Case 1, one person runs away with the entire money. Case 2, both of them divide the money and they enjoy. Which one is good? Case 1 or case 2? क्या हुआ? None of the above. This is what is papa and punya. Hmm. Yes, yes, absolutely. As all of you all are saying, both are bad. Absolutely. So this is what is called as papa and punya. Why both are bad? Why both papa and punya are bad? Both of them will actually hold us back in this material world in the cycle of birth and death. Like for example, if I do papa, next life I have to take birth to suffer those reactions. If I do punya, the next life I have to take birth to enjoy. अरे बाप रे, मतलब कुछ भी करो next life आना ही है इसका मतलब. So do we have some way to maneuver from here? Do we have some way to get out of the cycle of birth and death, or are we stuck here permanently, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime? Is the question. So what activities to do now is the question. And that's what is the discussion that we are entering into now. So here it is. This is called as akarma. So let's understand this concept of akarma. So akarma basically means that activities without reaction. So this is called as akarma. So akarma does not mean no karma. Akarma does not mean no activities. Akarma means that those activities which does not give any reaction. Like for example, I said that when we do good karma, we get punya. We get a reaction that is good reaction. When I do papa or bad activities, I get bad reaction, papa. So now this akarma means I do some activity and I don't get any reaction. So that goes on to say, if in my entire life I do akarmic activities, then my bank account will be zero. There'll be no papa, there'll be no punya. Congratulations. We can break the cycle of birth and death. What else is needed now? So let's try to understand, what is this basically? What is this papa and what is this punya all about? Simple example, I'm sure all of you might have seen some construction, some construction on some building construction you might have seen. Now there are so many laborers are there who work very, very hard. Day and night they'll put together, and they will work so hard, lifting those bricks and cement and then taking from some stones from first ground floor to top floor. So much hard work they do. After completing the entire building, all the laborers come together. And all of them, they decide, that first floor room maybe you can take, second floor room, the third room I'll take, the fifth floor room maybe you can take, and the 10th floor, you three can take, and then I'll take one more. I need one more. My wife and we need two separate rooms. So all the laborers are coming and they're discussing like this, and they're dividing the rooms and they start staying in the rooms. Now, is that correct? They worked hard and they divided the rooms and they took rooms and they're staying. What is the problem here? They worked hard, so they got it. What is the problem? Can we have some answers, please, in the chat box? Yes. Can we have some answers, please? What is wrong? They worked hard, and yes, they're good. No, let them enjoy. What is the problem now? Confused. That's what I wanted to make you. Inequality. Okay. So again, I repeat the situation. All the labor and all of them, they're working very, very hard. And afterwards, these rooms are mine, those rooms are yours. And then we all agree that it's wrong. And here, we have some answers, and those are correct. Rajesh is saying that that place is not belonging to first. Second, they were working and they were paid for it. Correct, Satvik. Oh, that's correct. Another, I mean, who gave this things? The owner gave it, isn't it? So he gave. So he provided all that basic material, and all these people worked hard, and for that they were paid. And this building was made, and after building the building, the laborers have to leave, not divide the rooms and stay. The entire building, entire world belongs to Krishna. It's very clear in Shastra, very clear. Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter. Very clear explaining this. Bhumirapon vayur kammanor buddhirevacha ahankaramiti yamme bhinna prakritirashtada. Krishna is saying there are 8 separated energies of mind. And then Krishna starts counting those and explaining it to Arjuna. What are those? What are those 8 elements? First, Bhumi. Bhumi means earth. Apaha, water. Analaha, fire. Vayu, air. Kham, ether. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. These 5 basic elements. Krishna is saying all these 5 basic elements are my separated energy. Then he says, Buddhi, intelligence. Manaha, mind. Then Ahankar, ego. Even those are my separated energies. So in the chat box, I'm seeing y'all are saying voice is breaking, lagging. Is it okay now, or is it still breaking and lagging? How is it for everyone? Okay? Is my voice okay now? Oh, still same for all of you? Fine now. You're cutting in and out, same, little better. Is it okay now? Is it okay now? That's my question. Okay, ठीक. So a few of you are saying it's okay. Let me continue. Okay, bandwidth low दिखा रहा है. Okay, I'm on Wi-Fi, so I cannot do much. So it's not mobile internet, it's Wi-Fi. So okay, anyways, I'll continue. So please bear with me, and please try to join all the broken words and try to understand. So I'm saying that everything belongs to Krishna: earth, water, fire, ether. Now someone might say, okay, I'm mixing all this and I'm making this particular thing. But then Krishna also said, Buddhi is also mine, intelligence also I'm giving. Krishna says in 15:15 Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham mridisannivishtaha matta smritir jnana apohana vedesh sarver hameva vedyo vedanta krit vedavit eva chaham. Krishna is saying that I am actually giving everything. And what are those things that Krishna is giving? First, Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishtaha. I am giving, this smriti, jnana, and apohanam. I am giving all the knowledge. I am giving the remembrance. I am giving the forgetfulness. Now, just imagine, you're giving a presentation. You're giving a presentation, and it is a very, very important presentation in your office, and the entire project depends on this presentation. Now, you're giving the presentation to the client. And depending on your presentation, the project will be accepted or rejected. And in one particular slide, there's an image that you put. So that image comes, and then you're explaining something, and you turn back and you see the image and you forget what you're supposed to speak. Now, can you say that, it's because of my intelligence and I'm doing it? But then you forgot. You forgot. Krishna gives the intelligence, Krishna gives the remembrance, he gives the forgetfulness. So everything belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. Like, for example, this mobile belongs to me. And one of you, without telling you, just take it away from me. So if you're taking it away from me, so what will you be as? If you're saying that thief, then you're correct. Yes. We'll be called as a thief if we take it without telling someone something. Simply, this entire world belongs to Krishna, and then we're just taking things and just using it on our own. So we all will be called as thieves. We all will be called as thieves. But suppose you need my mobile, and you want to text someone, you want to call someone, and you say that Kartikeya Prabhu, can you please give me a mobile? I want to make a call. And then when I give it to you, on my own accord, I'm giving it to you. So that time you can use it. So basically, what has happened? You have acknowledged that I want it. You've acknowledged I want it. Similarly, everything belongs to Krishna. And what is akarma? Akarma means doing the same activities, but in that particular activity, we have to acknowledge Krishna. Like, for example, eating activity is same. We cannot change the eating activity. But then when we offer the food to Krishna, at that time, no, we are acknowledging Krishna that this belongs to you. No, please accept. So when that food, then later when the food is taken out from the altar, that is called as prasad. And that prasad is sanctified. And when we have that, there is no karma. So basically, this activity of having food has become akarmic. So every activity of ours can be made akarmic. Every activity. It all depends on our intelligence. It all depends on our innovation of how can I acknowledge Krishna in my day life. Hope this concept of akarma is very clear. To just make it clear again, I would like to give one more analogy and then we'll move forward. So is my voice now or is it still breaking? Is my voice clear now or is it still breaking? Or is it okay? It's okay now? Oh, okay, it's clear. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and let's hear one more analogy to understand akarma. Very, very important concept. I request all of you all to pay attention again. Now, suppose I'm a cashier in the bank, and one of the person in the house tells me that money is over, nothing to eat. No, you're the cashier, everything is with you. You are only counting. So the cashier thinks, ah, theek hai, I'm counting. So thoda note bag mein dal deta. Let me take some notes with me back. Anyway, see, I'm going to get salary. I'm anyways going to get salary. So okay, I'll take it now itself. I'll take my salary now itself. What is the problem? What is the problem? Correct, right? See, he's counting the. He is the cashier. He wants to give salary also. So he's saying that okay, I'll take my salary now itself. What is the problem here? What is the correct procedure? The correct procedure, for withdrawing from the bank is he has to count all the money that has come as deposit. He has to and submit it to bank, and at the end of month, that has to be the account. The account will get the money. His account. The money will be deposited by the bank, isn't it? So that is the correct way. So what did the person do? Everything belongs to bank. He gave it to the bank, and then bank gave him prasad. The bank gave the salary. So the thing is, everything belongs to Krishna, and it has to be used in service of Krishna. We have to acknowledge Krishna in every single activity that we do. Everything belongs to Krishna, including this body from top to bottom, including the mind, intelligence, ego. Everything belongs to Krishna. Nothing in this world you can say that it does not belong to Krishna. Just on a lighter note, Akbar and Birbal, they were having a nice talk. And Birbal is, very, very clever. So Birbal told Akbar that, now, Bacha, you are much greater than God. You can do something which even God cannot do. Now Akbar was thinking, what is that? What is that even God cannot do, which I can do? Then Birbal made a very, very prophetic statement, which is very much resonating with our concept that we're discussing. Birbal said that, oh Bacha, you can throw someone out of your kingdom, but Krishna, Bhagavan, God cannot throw anyone out of his kingdom because everything belongs to Krishna. Krishna owns everything and everyone. Where will he throw anyone? Isn't it? So in this way, we understand that everything belongs to Krishna and everything should be used in service of Krishna. I hope this concept is clear. But now the question is, Kartikeya Prabhu, see, I was not knowing before coming to this sessions that what's good and what is bad. So now, after coming to the session, I've understood what is good and what is bad. But then, please tell me, what about those activities that I've done before? All those sinful activities that I've done before. What can be done? And you might say, see, today I understood what is karma. Iske pehle, no, I swear, mummy ki kasam. I was not knowing. I was not knowing this karma, vikarma, akarma. Please tell me. No, will I be spared for all those activities that I have done? This is the answer. Ignorance of law is no excuse. Like, for example, you're driving very, very fast, and you didn't the board, you didn't see the speed limit on the board on the road. You're driving fast, and the traffic police, they always stand for catching people and taking some money. So one of them was standing there, and then he catches you, and you're like, I was not knowing, I didn't see. Traffic police say, okay, I'll also not see, and no, I'll write a fine on the receipt. Please take. Now you can see the receipt, pay the fine. Or suppose you're going out and eating somewhere. So suppose the unhygienic place and you're eating there. So if you're eating in an unhygienic place, what will happen? Problem hoga hi. But then now I cannot say, oh, I was not knowing it's unhygienic. No, it's a law. It's a nature's law. You eat unhygienic, this body will not be able to take it. You'll fall sick. Now the child wants to again and again. He's petting the father. I want to touch the fire. I want to touch the fire. Father is saying, no, beta, you'll burn your hand. Child is like, no, I want to touch the fire. I want to see how it feels, etc., etc. And when the child goes and touches the fire, what happens? It will burn. Hand will burn for sure. Now, what about that? All right. So in this way, we understand ignorance is not an excuse. Whatever activities we have done, it's not an excuse. We cannot give excuse saying, I was not knowing before. Oh, Prabhuji, please, Shama dijiye. It doesn't work. Ignorance is not an excuse. It's almost like I'm traveling in a train and I don't know that I'm supposed to take a ticket. Okay. One sadhu was traveling in a train and he didn't have a ticket. So that sadhu, he was sitting there on the seat, on someone else's seat, and the TT comes, ticket checker comes. And then the ticket checker is asking the sadhu, ticket? So sadhu is saying that, oh, I'm supposed to take ticket. I was not knowing. See, I'm going to Ram Janma Bhoomi. You cannot stop me. So, I was not knowing. Now, what would the TC say? Very humorous. The TC, might say, okay, I will take you to the place of Janma Bhoomi of Lord, but instead of Lord Ram's Janma Bhoomi, let me take you Krishna Janma Bhoomi, the jail. So ignorance is not an excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse. I cannot say I was not knowing. Intelligence is given the human beings to explore. Puri life explore करता रहता है ना. Let me explore this restaurant. Let me explore that pub. Let me explore this. Let me explore that. Human life is given, this intelligence is given to explore about how can I break the cycle of birth and death, and not on how can I enjoy better. That anyways, cats and dogs are also doing. What is the difference between them and us if we're just thinking about eating, sleeping, and mating and defending, right? So ignorance is not an excuse. This is the point that is made very clear in the Shastra. And this is a very nice chart that you can see. So when we are ignorant of something in our life, what happens? We commit a sinful activity. And then after that, we suffer for that. Papa, we do papa and we have to suffer. We cannot do anything. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that ignorance of truth is the problem. But then how this ignorance of truth comes? When we don't know what is the truth. But then how will we get to know the truth? By reading the life manual Bhagavad Gita. Many people might say, no, मुझे पता नहीं था, मुझे पता नहीं करना है. ऐसे थोड़ी चलता है. It doesn't work like this. When I was when I was an employee in one of the companies. Uh, so at that time, no, during lunchtime, it was my habit. And during my college time, I came to Krishna consciousness in my first year of engineering. And then when I started working after my MTech here in Bangalore. So during lunchtime, I used to pull people into the discussion of spirituality. So one of my colleague, he would be sitting with me almost every day. So one day I thought, okay, let me test his spiritual quotient and let me help him out if he needs my help. Then I started talking to him. I said, so what do you think about death? We are working so hard. So at that time I was working as a senior VLSI design engineer. So it's a very hectic job. VLSI is a very, very hectic job, day and night put together, and people have to do that. Then I was telling him, see, we're working day and night together, but then one day we're going to die. So what do you think about it? That person said, we shouldn't discuss all these things. If we discuss all these things, then how will we able to enjoy our life? A similar incident happened with one of my friend. So his HR, she came, and then he was in the mood of masti. So the HR asked a question that, see this insurance that is there. So we need some person whose name can be written here. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? The one who gets the money after the person dies. What do we call it as? I'm not remembering. Nominee. Some nominee should be there. Some name should be written here. Then my friend, he was like, okay, so what do you mean by something will happen in life? So she was explaining, something terrible will happen in life at that time. Like, what do you mean by that? Some mishap will happen at that time. You would need someone. Some nominee is needed. Then at that time, my friend, he's also a spiritualist. So he said, oh, are you talking about death? And the HR was like, you cannot talk about death like this. Come on. We cannot close our eyes and be like ostrich. You know how the ostrich behaves? When some carnivorous animal attacks ostrich, it starts running. When it gets tired, ostrich puts the head inside the ground, and then it feels, abhi andha hai, abhi koi nahi hai aage piche. I'm safe now. I've come to a place where I'm not able to see that animal. This is what is called ignorance. This is how people are living their life. Many people say, nahi zyada explore nahi karna chahiye spiritual life mein. Explore kiya to problems hai, itna sab kaun follow karega ye. Arey, but human life is given for this. If you don't follow, what is the use? What is the use of it? What is the use of this human form? Ignorance of law is not an excuse. This is very clear. We cannot say that, oh, I was not knowing, so I did this. It's almost like, I take a chaku and put it in your stomach. I take a knife and put it in your stomach and say that, oops, I was not knowing if you do this, a person dies. That's foolishness. So it's my responsibility to understand what is the responsibility of human form of life first. What is the goal of human form of life, and how should I live this life, and how can I break the cycle of birth? And these things I have to know. And this is what is intelligence given for. बहुत हो गया a plus b square and the quadratic equations and then coding and this and that. Okay, all those things are there to take care of this body. But then there's a higher goal of life, that's to the cycle of birth and death. How can we do that? That can only be done by understanding how to do akarmic activities. Basically, akarmic activities means the bhakti activities, spiritual activities. And by doing those spiritual activities, we will be able to break the cycle of birth and death, because akarmic activities does not have any reaction to it. We need not take birth again, to suffer or enjoy any reaction of akarmic activities, because there are no reactions. Yes. In fact, I would like to make a very strong statement. Indians will suffer more than Westerners. Why? It's very clearly given in Shastra. Bharata bhumite manushya janma hoilo jar janma sarthaka kori kara upakar. So this particular shloka, it says that Bharata bhumi te manushya janma hoilo jar. Anyone who has birth as a human being in Bharata bhumi, two responsibilities the person has. First, janma sarthaka kori, perfect your life. Second, kara paropakar, help the entire world, help everyone around. So, we have a great responsibility, all of us, we have a great responsibility. So this higher intelligence is given so that we become free from ignorance. So we have to read Bhagavad Gita now to come to light. As of now, we are in darkness, we are in ignorance. As soon as we read Bhagavad Gita, see all these Gita course sessions, these are not time pass sessions. Chalo, Saturday evening kuch nahi hai, kaam karne ko, let's go and hear someone. No, these sessions are very, very intense session, which are actually pulling us out of ignorance and darkness and putting us into the light of knowledge, light of transcendence, light of spirituality, right? So this is a very, very important thing. And then now the question is, why do bad things happen to good people? This is a very, very frequently asked question. Why do things happen to good people? Simple example, which did I give the silo example here? I don't remember if I spoke here or spoke in some other place. So like the container holding the grains and innocent child looking at that container. Did I share it here? Anyone who attended the last session? Okay. Okay. So this particular analogy, which I'm going to tell you now, this particular analogy will clear all your doubts regarding why do bad things happen to good people, or the other way around, why do good things happen to bad people. Please hear this analogy carefully, and all your questions regarding karma will be sorted out here. So we have a silo. Silo basically means a container in village wherein people store grains in it. So year after year, the farmers will keep storing the grains. So 1 year they'll store the grain, next year they'll again put it from the top. So from the top, you can put the grains, and from the bottom, there's a tap at the bottom, you can tap the grains out for the daily use. So one particular year, what happened is the farmer got bad grains and bad quality grains, put it from the top, so it had settled at the bottom. The next year, he got very good quality of grains. And this year, his youngest child, innocent child, he was looking at his father. His father was putting the high quality grains from the top, very, very good quality, fine quality grains. So those grains were put from the top. So mother from inside, she shouted, the wife, she shouted saying, get some grains for cooking. Grains are over here. So the father said, okay, I'll get it. And he taps the grain from bottom. And the child is seeing, upar se good grains, niche se bad grains. Arey, what happened? How this miracle happened? Good is put from the top and bad grains are coming out from bottom. How did this happen? This is exactly our situation. We are like innocent kids. We are looking at people. We are saying, "Arey, itna acha banda hai wo, he's such a good person, he's doing all good activities. But why do bad things happen to good people?" Are you all understanding now? We don't know what grains were put before in his life, what activities he did in his past life. Currently, he's doing good activities. But then, we don't know what he did in his past life. And those reactions he's reaping now. He's suffering for that now. But this also goes on to say, the bad grains get over, good grains are anyways going to come out from the tap. Similarly, when the bad reactions will get over, anyways, the person's, all the good activities that he's doing currently, that manifest for sure. This is the difference between a materialist and a spiritualist. A materialist will always keep asking this question, oh God, why are you doing this to me? Why do bad things happen to good people? People feel they're good and they ask this question. Why do bad things happen to good people? But now the question is about a spiritualist. How does a spiritualist react? A spiritualist is like calm and cool. He knows very well, whatever I have done in my past life, usi ke karam mein bhog raha hu abhi. That's what I am suffering for. All the activities, all the reactions are now manifesting. But then the person also has the solace in the heart that yes, Lord is so merciful, I should suffer more, but he has given me less. And a spiritualist remains equipoised. Both in sukha and dukkha is equipoised because he knows now happiness is there, maybe punya is sprouting, but you never know which papa seed will sprout now. And when the person is suffering, he's calm and cool, thinking, theek hai. Now, I'm suffering for my papa. Surely the good activities that I'm doing, because of that, all these will go away. Every dark cloud has silver lining. Do you understand the meaning of it now? Every dark cloud has silver lining. This is where it comes from. So this is a very important concept about why do bad things happen to good people. Hope this clarifies all your doubts regarding this question. So now we are moving to a new concept, a different concept altogether. So if you have any questions regarding this, you can post in the chat box. I'll be happy to answer towards the end of this session. So now let me take you to a new concept, of now I've understood what is good, what is bad. Kartikeya Prabhu told in the class what is good, what is bad. Now I've understood. So now my duty is I have to go around and correct everyone around me. So should I go and correct people around? That is the question. Normally, why do people go around and correct? So they are like no blame game basically. So people just want to give reasons for not doing things, and then we go and correct them. No, no, is not correct. That is not correct. Sometimes you know genuinely the person is caring for the other person. He goes and corrects. Sometimes we know better than the other person, and we want to prove our superiority. At that time, I go and correct that person. Right. So these are the different scenarios in which we correct people. But then many of the times when we give free advice, it backfires, isn't it? I don't know if it is there in these slides, but one of my favorite quote that is there in one of the slides is, take my advice. Anyways, I don't use it. That is called as free advice. So many of the times, when we give free advice, so basically it's like people do not accept, maybe because of the ego. They feel like, "Tu kaun hota hai bolne wala? I know better than you. Who are you to tell me all these things?" And sometimes, if something goes wrong after accepting your advice, you're gone. All the blame on you. Tune bola, you told me to do this, so I did it, so all this problem has come. And another important thing is, whenever we instruct someone and that particular activity that the person does, so if suppose whatever activity is doing, so the karma of that activity even we have to share with that person because we instructed that person, do this. In this way we understand free advice nahi dena chahiye. But then whom to give advice, whom to correct, these are the questions that we'll try to answer now. These are basically lifestyle questions which people keep asking. Very important, a very important shloka from third chapter of Gita. Please chant after me. Yad yad acharat shreshthas tat tat eva taro janah sa yat prama kurute lokas tad anuvartate. So it is said that whatever great man does, common people will just follow. So all of us, we're going to take some of the other leadership role here and there for sure. Either in the family, we'll be the lead, or in the office, we might be the team lead, or whatever. In the community, we might take some leadership role. All of us are going to take. So when we take a leadership role, when we do something, common public will normally follow. Like in the house, when parents do something, kids will just follow like that, right? He makes a very profound statement. He said, preachers may preach the entire day and speak sometimes. So hope you understand the meaning of it. Now we have to set by example, not just keep speaking. You have to set an example by applying those principles of life. That is very, very important, right? So in this way, we have to set an example that will actually work more. And then, it is very clear in this particular shloka that intelligent ones have to understand what is right, what is wrong, and they have to work accordingly to set an example. Right? This is not everyone's job. So educated ones, people who have knowledge from Shastra, people like us who are attending Gita course and trying to understand how to live life, it's our duty to set the right example. That is very, very important. And now the question is, whom should I correct? Whom should I correct? Now I'm going to tell you all some important parameters, and this will surely help you in your day-to-day life. The first one is, before we offer correction to anyone, we need to focus on 80-20 principle. Remember this 80-20 principle. What is that 80-20 principle? If 80 times we have helped the person, 80 times we have praised the person, 80 times we appreciated the person, then we have the right to chastise the person 20% of the times. I again repeat, 80 times if we help the person, glorify the person, appreciate the person for his work, then we have the right to chastise him 20% of the time. So hope this makes it clear, for everyone. Most of the time, parents nowadays, they're like, they'll scold, 80% of the time, and 20% of the time they'll glorify. So it doesn't work like that. So correction is not offered like this. Correction is offered after 80% of glorification, then 20% of the time we can still think of chastising the person. Another important thing is, most of the time, what we do is, we directly go and tell the person, "Aisa nahi karna chahiye." You don't know this much also. What sort of person you are? See, one important thing is, when a person is attached to something, it is like a person is standing on the carpet. So if you pull the carpet, the person will fall down. So better when you're offering a correction. The correction does not say that, correction does not mean pulling the carpet. Correction basically means we give another opportunity, another carpet, and ask the person, why don't you shift to this carpet? Why don't you do this? This is much better than what you're doing currently. So you give an alternative. This is a good way of correction. It's not about just correcting. Ye nahi karna chahiye, wo nahi karna chahiye. Arey bhai, to bata kya karna chahiye? If you are really that great, intelligent person, really learn it to tell what you're supposed to do. This is what will be the question of a person. So we have to offer an alternative. First one, I said 80-20 principle. Second one, I clearly mentioned about not pulling the carpet beneath the person's feet. And another thing that we have to understand is, we offer correction to the person only with a mood of transforming someone's heart. Not to prove our ego. I want to transform that person's heart, so I'm actually offering him corrections, right? So this is the mood, that all should have when we are offering correction. ऐसा नहीं कि abhi bakra mil gaya, let me let me do halal, let me cut him. No. So we have a mood, okay, he does not know, I know it. Let me help him out. Let me help him to transform his life. I feel very fortunate that in ISKCON, we have been doing this activity from quite some time. And it gives so much of bliss in the heart when we see the life of a person transformed to a very great extent. In fact, I call all of y'all to help in this mission. All of us educated ones, we can actually bring a change in the society. But I gave you two parameters, if you remember. Janma sarthak kori kara paropakar. We have to help ourselves first by understanding the Shastra, implementing it in our life, day-to-day life. So this point is very, very important, that we have to help people to transform their heart. That is very important, and it's not easy. It's not easy. And by the mercy of the founder Acharya of ISKCON, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, all over the world, so many people are getting transformed. So many people are drug addicts, drunkards, woman monglers, meat eaters. So many people have transformed and they have become so pure. They're living a holistic life. Now, how amazing. I feel so proud, to be a part of ISKCON and have Prabhupada as my guru. I feel so proud about it. Right? We all are fortunate. We all are fortunate that we have got such a great sadhu, such a great guru in our life. Today is Teachers' Day. Now we offer our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, wishing him a very, very happy Teachers' Day, because he is the one who has taught us. He has, through his teachings, through his examples, and through his books, he has actually taught us how to live a holistic life. Very, very fortunate all of us are. But as I already said, we have to decide, how to use this human form properly. It's up to us. It's up to us. Moving to the last topic for the day. I don't want to do wrong, but then I'm forced to do it. How can I overcome this problem? I'm sure most of you might have this question. So answer to this, this same question Arjuna is asking. Arjuna is asking in this verse that, oh Krishna, please tell me that why one is impelled to do some wrong activity by force. See, when we say that Bhagavad Gita has answers to all the questions, yes, it has answers to all the questions. All the problems that we're facing, the answers are given in Bhagavad Gita. Look at the beauty of it. And here comes the answer. Please chant after me. Kama esha, krodha esha, rajo guna samudbhavaha, mahashano mahapapma, vidhe vairinam. So here, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is saying that it is lust, because of lust only Arjuna, born out of the modes of passion, which transforms into anger later. These are the enemies. So, anyways, in our future session, we're going to see various aspects of three modes of material nature. Please don't miss this session. I think this is session or something where we're going to discuss about who is pulling my string, why people suddenly change and they start behaving weirdly. So that's the topic discussed there. So here is a glimpse that is given. The lusty feelings which are there. So lusty feelings on the gross side is the sexual feelings, but on the subtler side, it has a deep meaning. And the deep meaning is anything and everything that we enjoy without acknowledging to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, that is actually lust. Because everything belongs to Krishna. I cannot enjoy his property. Whenever I enjoy someone else's property, it means I'm lusty. So that's what is meant by lust. And lust is the problem. And now the question is, where does the lust sit? The lust sits at three places: the senses, the mind, and the intelligence. So now we know the enemy is sitting at three places. Let's attack. All of us can attack this enemy lust. Let's attack it. It's there in the senses, mind, and intelligence. How can we attack? By engaging all of our senses in service of Krishna. So like, we have got eyes. So let's see the beautiful form of Krishna. Now we have got tongue. Let's taste prasadam. Now we have these ears. Let's hear Krishna Katha. Let's hear from Bhagavad Gita. Now we have got this nose. Let's smell tulasi offered to Krishna. These hands, legs, etc. that is given to us. Let's walk towards the temple. Let's do some service in the temple. So that is called as engagements in service of Krishna. Let's engage our mind in thinking about Krishna. We have spent so many lifetimes thinking abominable things. This lifetime, no, Baba. Or nahi re Baba. No more sins. What socially, all abominable things we have been thinking lifetime after lifetime. No more such abominable thoughts. Now think about Krishna. We have to engage our mind in thinking about Krishna. How to use intelligence? Read Shastra. When we read Bhagavad Gita, intelligence automatically get used there, engaged there. In 18th chapter, Krishna says, anyone who reads Bhagavad Gita is worshipping me by his intelligence. This comes towards the end, after the 66th shloka, till 78, the Mahatmya is given. So in that, this comes where Krishna is saying, anyone who reads Bhagavad Gita and understands Bhagavad Gita, that particular person is actually worshipping me by his intelligence. So in this way, we see that we can attack the lust and we can be safe in our day-to-day life. And finally, I would like to end today's session with the practical tip of the day. And here it is. All the problems is because of the illusion, because of the ignorance. I understood today that we cannot give ignorance as the excuse. So we have to get out of the ignorance. And how to come out of the ignorance? By reading Bhagavad Gita. By reading Bhagavad Gita, a person will understand what is right and what is wrong. And when he understands that and follows the right thing, then he'll be able to get freed from the suffering. Every single instance that we are investing, every single moment that we're investing in spirituality, trust me, it is going to benefit all of us. All of us. Never ever we can say that anything or any place that we're investing our time for practicing spirituality, practicing bhakti, it is wasted or it will get wasted. No. Every single instance that we've invested in Krishna consciousness, in bhakti, will be very, very useful. Very, very useful. So in this way, I ask all of y'all to please become more serious in bhakti and take it up more seriously. Read Bhagavad Gita, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra every single day. Now, I want to know from all of you all, how many of you are chanting every single day, at least for 5 to 10 minutes? Can you all raise your hands? We have the option in when you click the buttons, you have the option of raise hands. How many of you are chanting every single day? Okay, Sumit is chanting, Srinivas is chanting, Sumit is chanting. Oh, Rahul says he's chanting 18 rounds every single day. That's really amazing. Sandway is chanting. I request others also, please take it. No, please take it up. Oh, Kunal says I'm doing 1 or 2 malas daily. That's really nice. Rohit is raising his hand. No, thank you very much. Thank you very. All the others who are there, I request you with folded hands. Please don't waste this human form. फिर से नहीं मिलेगा. This opportunity will not get again. So let's make sure, let's utilize this very wonderful teachings from Bhagavad Gita and chant every single day and make our life successful. So with this, I request all of you all that now let's do mantra meditation for next 5 minutes, and then I would like to answer your questions after that. Here we go. Can we have all your videos on, please? Okay. So I'm getting darshan of all the great souls on the screen. Thank you. So all of us, I request all of you all that let's start chanting now. Please repeat after me. For next 5 minutes, now please focus on the Maha Mantra. Even if there are n number of distractions, it's okay. Try to tolerate all that and just focus on the mantra. The most important activity we're going to do now. All of us are ready. Please sit in a relaxed position, everyone. And let's try to focus on the Maha Mantra now. Let's start chanting. Please repeat after me. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. All of us with complete focus and devotion, let's chant. We'll chant 25 times and then we'll break for question and answers. Let's start chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. For the last 5 times, with complete focus and devotion, let's call out for Krishna and let's pray, for help so we can progress on the path of bhakti with complete focus for the last 5 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One time, with one voice, calling out for Krishna, let us all chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So yes, you all can open your eyes and come back, to the screen. Okay, we have got 9 minutes, and I'd like to take some questions to answer your question. Take some time to answer your question now. Sanway is saying, I found today one contradictory statement. First, you said if we help people, then we will earn punya, and earning papa and punya both won't lead us to Krishna. But later you said we should always help other people. Okay, that's a very amazing question which is asking. So, how to help people? That is very, very important. We cannot help people the way we want. We have to help people the way Krishna has told us to do. So when I say Janma Sarthaka Kori Kara Para Upakar, it means we have to help people spiritually. That is very, very important. No problem, we can help materially also, but that's not our karmic, that will give us punya. But important is we have to help people spiritually, distributing Bhagavad Gita's, giving knowledge of how to break the cycle of birth and death. These are the different aspects which we can teach others. That's the real help. Hope, Sanway, this answers your question. Okay, what about Satvik is asking this question? What about sins already done? Should we acknowledge it to Sri Krishna to get free from it? Will karma pass through generations, like father to son to grandson? First, how to get rid of the karma that we have done? It is described that chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is like fire. And all the papa that we have done in our past lifetimes, this lifetime, are like a huge mountain. But this mountain is made up of cotton. So as soon as the fire comes in touch with the mountain, what will happen? The entire mountain will get burnt into ashes. Bhakti is the only way, Krishna says in second chapter. By doing bhakti, all these karmic reactions will be burnt to ashes, and the person will become free from the karmic bondage. So there is no question of karma remains to that devotee. Hope that answers your question. And when it comes to karma, karma belongs to an individual. It's never passed from one person to another. The father has to suffer for his karma, son has to suffer for his karma. There is no question of sharing. There is no question of sharing business. Okay. So Sumit has a question. Why did Lord Krishna not show the way to not do bad activities which we were doing in past years of our life? And why is he showing the way of spirituality now to us? As you said in your previous sessions, that when we are attending a session or reading Gita, there's an inner voice from Krishna, do that. Then why he not showed us the right way in previous years of our life? To be very frank, um, he has always been inspiring all of us from lifetime after lifetime. See, it's not the first time that you're attending the Gita course. No, this is not the first time you're chanting. First time, no one can do this. It needs a lot of qualification, to practice bhakti. It needs a lot of qualification to come to a session where Bhagavad Gita is discussed. You know what is Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is directly the word spoken from Krishna. And that needs qualification. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 41st shloka or 40th shloka, either of them. He says, Neha Bikrama Nashosti Pratyavayo na Vidyate Swalpamapyasya Dharmasya Trayato Mahato Bhayat. Krishna is saying that anyone who does little endeavor on this path of bhakti, he gives two important things. He says, never ever that is lost, and never ever it is reduced. From many lifetimes, we have been bhakti, and finally we have come to a stage, we have reached that threshold by which we are able to chant Hare Krishna, we are able to attend these sessions very nicely. If, if you remember the pastime of Valmiki, he was not able to chant Ram also. When Narada Muni said chant Ram, he was not able to chant because he didn't have qualification. So Narada Muni said Mara. So he started chanting Mara, 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 Mara. It became Ram. That's how he got that qualification by the mercy of Narada Muni. So till now, Krishna has been inspiring all of us, but our mind was always driving us towards sense gratification. But now, by the mercy of some devotee in our life, we have come again back to bhakti. But now there is no, it's our call. Now Krishna is again telling, see, I'm sure every single day, all of you will get an inner call saying, chant now. You have been attending Gita sessions, chant now. They have been telling every time. Every Saturday evening, there will be an inner voice which will tell you, attend the session today, attend the session today. But there will be another voice which will say, Arey, enough. These people are just bluffing and forget it. That is mind. Attend today, do it today. That is Krishna from the heart. So Krishna has been inspiring us for many, many lifetimes. What about this lifetime? But mind always overtook that. Mind always overtook that. In my own life, let me tell you, second standard, when I was in my second standard, so I was back in Mumbai. So whenever any relative would come to Mumbai from Karnataka, so Karnataka is my hometown. So right from childhood, I was in Mumbai. I've been brought up there. So anyone would come from Karnataka to Mumbai. So my parents would send me with them to take them for Mumbai Darshan. So there'll be like one bus which will take us around to show different places in Mumbai. And every single time, so many relatives would come, and every time I would go right from second standard. And every time the Mumbai Darshan ends with going to an ISKCON temple at the end. It's a huge temple on the beach, Juhu Beach. So it's called as ISKCON Juhu. So every time that would happen. But then every time there was some call maybe, but I was never able to make out. But in 2010, once when I went with my friend to ISKCON temple there, that day there was some intense call from within, and then life changed from that day. Then I took it very seriously from 2010 onwards. So something like that. So Krishna has been inspiring all of us. He has been giving opportunity. I was given opportunity right from second standard, but then I was a fool. I was stupid. I was a gone case. I couldn't use the opportunity. So after wasting so many years, some 18 years or 19 years, then finally I ended up, finally I came to Krishna consciousness. But Krishna is helping right from day one. Krishna is helping right from day one. So we cannot blame Krishna. Hope this answers your question. Okay. Any questions? Any more questions? Is reading second chapter equal to reading entire Bhagavad Gita? Second chapter is called as a summary of Bhagavad Gita, and second chapter consists of a lot of concepts from different chapters. So yes, it is considered as reading or understand. I would not say reading entire Bhagavad Gita, but I would say if we scrutinizingly go through all the shlokas, then maybe you can say that I've understood most of the things from Bhagavad Gita. But then reading entire Bhagavad Gita means we have to go through, because Krishna has taken Arjuna through various from, like, for example, the first 6 chapters talks about Karma Yoga. Then Krishna takes through Bhakti Yoga in the middle chapters, then through Jnana Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga is kept in between, the key to break the cycle of birth and death. So we have to go through all the chapters, and that's what we'll be doing in Bhagavad Gita also in these sessions. Please go up. There are more questions. Okay, I'll do that. Okay. How we can make papa as a akarmic activity if we have done something wrong by unintentionally? Yeah, we can set the equilibrium with past activities. No, we cannot set equilibrium. Now, like for example, five, say, we have done three good activities and five bad activities. Hmm. Or no, let's do the other way around. We have done five good activities and bad activities. So mathematics of this world says 5 minus 3 is 2, right? But the karmic mathematics says 5 is 5 minus 3 is minus 3. So I have to enjoy for those five activities and I have to suffer for those three activities, the three sinful activities that we have done. But by practicing bhakti, 5 minus 3 becomes 0, according to Bhagavad Gita. When someone practices bhakti, 5 minus 3 is 0. So nothing remains. Nothing remains. So practicing bhakti. Now, a lot of things we have done unintentionally in our past, and we will be doing in the future also because of our ignorance. But if you are practicing bhakti every single day, and the mood is that I want to attain, I want to break the cycle of birth and death, I want to attain perfection in life. And every single day, if you're practicing bhakti with a proper mood under the guidance of a mentor, so what happens? Automatically will be, these all the things, all these karmic reactions will get burnt off. Hope, Kunal, this answers your question. Sanvay, so whatever things are going on in the world to make human life more easier and hassle free are pointless. You're intelligent. This world is called as Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. Krishna has given a stamp already. Krishna has said that Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. Like for example, suppose I get inside a garbage bin and then I want to search for a diamond in that. What is the probability of finding a diamond in the garbage bin? I'll not be able to find. Simple. Similarly, in this world is called as Dukkhalayam. This world is called as a place of misery, a place full of dukkha. Now, so whatever equipments you make, whatever luxurious items you give to people, still the person will be suffering. Like for example, previously, people were like using chariots, horse chariots and bull chariots and things like that, isn't it? And they would say that, oh, roads are becoming dirty because of the horse dung and the bull dung and so on and so forth. Then now, previously the roads were clean. Previously the roads were dirty. Now the roads are clean. We all engineers, we came together and we have made cycles, we have made automobiles. So now things are fine, right? We are able to go from one place to another faster and things like that. So previously the roads were dirty and lungs clean. Now the roads are clean and lungs are dirty. What change have we done? What change have we done? Previously people would walk from one place to another and they were fit. Now people sit at one place and they have to run at the same place on a treadmill to become strong and to become fit. So in this way, another image which I saw, very nice image. In the previous TV sets, if you have seen, it would be bulky, isn't it? And now, it's like thin LED TVs. So I saw an image where there's a bulky TV and a very thin person is sitting in front of a bulky TV. And then it says 2019 LED TV and a very fat person is sitting in front of that. So currently, if let me make a statement. Currently, what we're doing is we're manipulating technology and we are thinking we're changing the situation, but then it is leading to more greater problems. More greater problems. Previously, there was no problem of depression, suicides. You go and ask your grandmothers and their parents, yes, what do you mean by suicide? What do you mean by depression? Suicide maybe pehle bhi hoga, but the frequency has increased now. But you go and ask them what is depression. They'll be like, kya hota hai depression? You go and ask them who is a counselor. They'll not be knowing that. Because at that time, all those things are not needed. Now the lifestyle has gone crazy. And all glories to all the engineers like us. So I was a VLSI engineer, so we are responsible for the chips. And VLSI engineers the one make things compact. So yes, compact banate. Now this crazy stuff, which is there, every small kid also has this. And we feel, oh, okay, now the world has become small. I'm able to chat and then I'm able to connect with people. But no, people are going crazy because of this also, isn't it? Some people are so frustrated. Now people are, I see some people, they're shifting from a smartphone to a button phone. People are doing that. You're not able to control it. You just open some site and something pops up and you go crazy looking at it, dirting your consciousness. That's what is happening now. So we are thinking that we are making some hustle-free stuff, but then something else is only happening. Only hassle-free life can happen when a person practices the principles of Bhagavad Gita, because that is the manual. We cannot create a new manual, please understand. We have to follow the old manual. New manual cannot be created. Hope this answers your question. And then, there are more questions. Uh, it's already 35. Okay. So these are the last two questions. Please don't post any more questions. If you want to post, then please send it to me personally. Last time also, I answered a few questions over WhatsApp. This is my number. You can send it to me over my WhatsApp. 982185. Oh, 1461. Yeah. So let me the last two questions and we stop for the day. Trishal is saying, wonderful session. Thank you very much for the compliment. My question is, if everything is Krishna's property, like mind, intelligence, etc., then why criminals are committing papa karma? Why is Krishna not stopping them? This is a very wonderful question, but you have to wait till the 7th session because this needs a lot of background to understand. So yes, Krishna is stopping. Krishna is telling us, but we have an intense desire. No, we are like that. No, what to say? A gone case child, a dirty child. Now, who wants to do something nonsense? Parent is saying, don't do, and the child is like, no, I want to do, I want to do. And finally, the person, because the parent loves the child so much, so the parent is okay, do whatever you want, and the child goes on. That's what is the situation of criminals. But more technical answer, no, we would like to give you in the 7th session, so you can wait till that session. If karma belongs to indivisible, why some disease are transferable? Example, parents to son. Very simple, not a big thing to understand. So people with same sort of karma, they come together. That is called as collective karma. Like for example, the parent is supposed to suffer, a similar child will come in their life. Like why some parents give birth to a physically challenged child? Because some karmic reactions are there. So that person has to suffer, the parent has to suffer because of the child. Because in the past life it was other way around. So now the give and take has to happen. That is the reason. So the same sort of karma people, where the exchange is remaining, they come together. So it is said, husband and wife, next life, they exchange their roles. Whenever I ask this question, the enemies in the past life become what in this life? So they say that many of the people agree. No, husband and wife. So nowadays people are saying kids also. Okay. So I request you all, the other people who have put here the questions. I'll not be able to answer now. It's already 8:40. It will be difficult to answer since we have crossed 8 minutes already. Please text me, Kaushik and Sumit. Please text me on my number. I'll be very glad to answer your question. I'll send you the audio recording. You can immediately send me the question. I can answer it immediately. So thank you very much. So we met for these 2 sessions. Next 2 sessions, some other devotees will give. Nice to meet you all, and looking forward to meet you all again. So after a few weeks, when I come back, I would like to see all of again, in the same place, not with a reduced count. So again, I request with folded hands, please chant every single day, and please read Bhagavad Gita. Let me tell you something. The situation of COVID, which is there, it has created a lot of negativity, and lots of astrologers, renowned astrologers, authentic astrologers have told, for next 1 year, the situations are going to be really terrible. There will be a lot of economic crisis that we're going to hit, and all these problems will be solved only by next year, 2021, at the end of that year, November, December 2021. So there'll be a lot of emotional turmoil that lots of people are going to go through, lots of economic crisis, and lots of things are going to happen. And all those people will be able to remain peaceful who have taken shelter of bhakti. No, others cannot. There'll be lots of problems now which are there. So I request all of you all, please bhakti more seriously, more sincerely, and please don't become the prey of the drastic changes that are going to happen in the near future. And I pray to the Lord that He empowers all of you all to practice bhakti more intensely and more sincerely and more seriously. Thank you very much. So let's chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and end the session for today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. If I offended anyone, any of you today, please forgive me. My only goal is to help you all and nothing else apart from that. Hare Krishna. We end the session here.